Hello students, this is Amardeep Singh, your ICT teacher, and today we are going to continue with the same chapter, conditional statements in Python. And in this session we'll discuss about if-elif statement, that is known as else-if statement, or also known as ladder-if. And next we'll discuss about how to use logical operators in if statements or while defining a condition. If-elif statement, or known as ladder-if statement. In if-elif or ladder-if statements, there are multiple conditions one after another. Depending upon these conditions, specific set of statements are executed. Only one block can be executed at a time. So if we are having multiple conditions, then we have to implement ladder-if statement. So if according to the simple if statement or if else statement that we previously discussed in previous sessions, then if we are having only one condition, then we can use simple if statement. But if we are having multiple conditions and multiple block of statements on the behalf that we want to run on the behalf of those conditions, then we have to specify or we have to define a ladder if statement. Here we are having syntax of ladder if statements. So first we have to understand the working of this one. First, according to this, first we are having condition 1. If the condition 1 is true, then statement block 1 will execute and the control will move out of if statement complete, right? And then next, if the first condition is false, then the control moves to second condition that is defined using elif statement. In this statement, statement, second condition will be checked, and if the condition is true, then the statement block 2 will execute and the control will be out of if statement here. Then even if this condition, if the will be false, then the control will move to next condition. And if all the conditions are false, then at end you can also define else statement optionally. It's not required to define else at the end, but it's an optional statement. But if you want to run some set of statements, if all the condition will evaluate to false, then you can define else statement at the end. It should be at end after the last elif statement. So we can define n number of conditions by using ladder if statements. So here we are having a flowchart of uh, elif statement that represents the working of elif statement. For example, if we are having here, we are having a condition 1. If the condition 1 is true, then statements 1 will execute and the control will exit from if and the program will be stopped. Then, but if the condition 1 is false, then the control moves to condition true. If the condition 2 is true, then control moves to statement 2. After the completion of statements 2, then the program will be stopped. Then even then after that, if the second condition will be false, then control moves to condition n. That may be any number of conditions will be there. Then even if this condition will be false, then statement 3 will execute and the program will be stopped. So that means if all the conditions are false, then statement 3 will execute at end in that is defined inside last else portion and the program will be stopped. If even in case if all the conditions are true, then only first condition will execute. First statements will be executed, because if even if second condition is true, then if the first condition is true, then control will not move to this condition to check the condition. So if the first condition is true, then control moves to this statement, and after the completion of this statement, the control will exit from if and the program will be stopped. So let's start with an example. So in this example, it's very simple example. In this example, we'll get an input a number from user. If the value of that number is 1, then I want to print hello. If the value of that number is 2, then will print by, or in any other case it should print OK. So let me start how you can print. So first get a number from user. I'll use n equals to int input, enter a number. Then now I want to check first condition, if value of n equal to 1. That means if n equals to 1, double equal operator is used for comparison purpose. Then print hello. Next we have to define another condition. If you want to define another condition, let's suppose according to the simple if else statement, then we have to define here else, then print by. But here we are having, we can use this simple if else statement because we are having only one condition, but presently we are having two conditions. Then we have to define elif. Elif means else if n equals to, if the value of n equals to 2, then print by. And at n, if the value of n is not 1 or not 2, then we have to define l print OK. So this one is the simplest example to demonstrate the concept. In this we are having two conditions and one else case also. If the value of n is 1, then print hello. If this condition will be false, then next condition system will check the next condition. Then if the value of n equal to 2, then print by, or else OK. So save it. I'll save it as demo. Then press F5. Oh, sorry, we have to specify colon here. Save it, specify. Now if I will give 1, then system will print hello because the condition 1 is true. Then next, if I will print give 2, then now system is printing by, because first condition is false, then control moves to second condition and that is true. And in any other case, if I will input any other value except 1 or 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 or any other value, let's suppose I have entered 12, then system will print OK. Because if you will input 1, then system will print hello. If 2, then system will print by, or in any other case the system will print OK. So that's all about how you can use this ladder if statement. Next we'll discuss about logical operators and or not. Logical operators, as we discussed earlier in previous chapter of operators and expression, these operators are used to combine relational expressions. AND operator returns true if all conditions are true. OR operator returns true if all or one of the condition is true. And OR, if you want to use AND or OR operator, then you can use in this way. You can define a condition. Here we are having relational expression 1, that is condition 1, and here we are having condition 2, and in between these two conditions we can define AND or OR operator to combine these conditions, to combine these relational expressions to make a single condition. And in case of NOT operator, it returns the inverse of actual result. That means we can use NOT operator in this way only. It is not used to combine multiple relational expressions. NOT operator is used to return the inverse of the actual result. For example, here we can define a relational expression, a condition inside the NOT operator. If the condition is true, not will convert that result to false. If the condition is false, then not operator will return that result to true. So that's all about and or not operator. Then next we'll discuss how to use these operators in if or any conditional statement. To demonstrate the use of logical operators, we are having will discuss an example to find the largest between given three numbers, and we will also demonstrate not operator in next example also. So let's start to find out the largest between given three number using logical and operator. So click on this one. So in this code we have just accepted three numeric values from user A, B and C. So according to the if you want to find the largest, first we have to plan the activity also. So A will be the largest if it is greater than B and A greater than C. So that means A will be the largest value if it will be greater than B and C also. So that means if you want to compare A and B, then A greater than B. That means this condition will only prove that A is greater than B. But we also have to compare A with C also, A greater than C. If you will define condition like this, but this statement will not work because we can't define two conditions like this in a single if statement. We have to combine these two statements to make a single condition. So that means here in between these two conditions we have to use and or operator. In this situation, according to the A will be the largest if it is greater than B and greater than C. So that means we have to write and operator. So A will be the largest if it is greater than B and also greater than C. Then print percentage %d is the largest value, percentage %a variable name. So then next condition elif B will be the largest value if it is greater than A and greater than C. So that means we have to define the condition accordingly. B greater than A and B greater than C. Then again you have to print the same statement. I'll copy the statement again. Then the B will be here. In case next there is no need to define, we are having three numbers and we want to find the largest, so there is no need to define third condition. If A is not largest, B is not largest, that means obviously C is the largest value. So no need to define next condition that C is greater than A, C greater than B, because if A and B is not largest value, then C will be the largest. So here we have to print value of C, so that will be the largest. Save this one and press F5 to check the code. 34, 5 and 67. 67 is the largest value, and again run the same. 45, 87, 34, then 87 is the largest value. You can check any number of times to check the authenticity or the correctness of this code. So that's all about this example. In next example, I'll demonstrate how to use not operator. As we discussed earlier that not operator always return the inverse of a given condition. So that means I'll use a simple example. I'll check if A is greater than B, A greater than B, then print hello, else print by. So this one is a simplest example to demonstrate the use of not operator, the effect of not operator basically. So here we are not here using any not operator presently. So just save it, and if I'll give value a 12 and value of b is 4, then system will print hello. Then if I'll give a smallest value as compared to b, then system will print by. So I'll specify not in this condition. Then the not operator will return the inverse of the condition after checking the values of a and b. So if you will give a largest value as compared to b, then the condition actually will be true. According to that condition, hello will be printed, but not operator will convert that result to false, and the by will be printed. So let's check this one. The value of a is now 12 and value of b is 4. According to rules, we are comparing a greater than b. So that means if condition will be true and hello should be printed, but we are using not operator, and the not operator will convert that condition to false, then the by will be printed. So that's all about how to use not operator in this way. So that is all about current session also. So we have discussed ladder if and logical operators and or not. So if you people are having any kind of doubt related to use of these operators and ladder if statement, then you can contact me any